What is going on, everybody? Lieutenant Gold here. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today. Excited for the week three of the IBL. Today we're gonna be battling FlameHorizon and the Minnesota Lycanroc, I believe is his team name, which has a really cool logo, by the way. Definitely go check him out. Really cool dude. And his draft is actually really fun. I gotta say, like, he has a really fun draft. Anyways, let me actually put his team on the screen. It should be showing up on the right hand side for you guys, and that way I can see it. It's the Gengar, the Bisharp, Haxorus, Starmie, Slurpuff, Serena, Girder, Jolteon, Licky, G-Max, Charizard, and of course the Mudbray. This guy drafted a Mudbray, which I gotta say, props to him. You don't see that every day. If you guys just came from the battle of yesterday, if you guys remember, we are battling a Haxorus and Jolteon again. Yesterday we did go against Seabat and the Detroit Steel Wings for BBR, who also had a Haxorus and a Jolteon. So that's gonna be fun. Haxorus, as you guys know, is a monster, and I feel like this team is a little bit more well equipped to battle against it. But yeah, Gengar is also very threatening. This thing hits like a truck, but we do have things like Drapion, which shouldn't be too bad. It could kind of deal with it pretty well. Bisharp, in my opinion, in Draft League is not that great, but it's not a bad Pokemon overall. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with that. Haxorus, we already went over. Starmie is great offensively. Now that it gets a speed boost with Rapid Spin, it's definitely a threat that we have to prepare for. Slurpuff is annoying because of webs, and it's also a really good setup Pokemon for things like Billing Drum that you have to be careful with, plus the Burden, and the fact that he can potentially run an Burden Grassy Seed against us, because we do have Rillaboom, can be very scary. Serena is of course going to be annoying because we have a rain team, and that thing is bulky as all hell. Girder is always a good Pokemon. That Pokemon is strong. Jolteon is going to be annoying as well because, like I said, rain team. I do expect all electric types to be either some type of choice specs variant, especially when they are super duper fast, like Jolteon. Licky is very annoying. I've seen people bring back games with Licky. I've seen people sweep with Licky. If you don't prep for it, it could definitely run through your team. G-Max, Charizard, don't think it's something he's going to be bringing because I do have Rain. Things like Dreadnought definitely doesn't care about it. Things like Luxray definitely doesn't care about it. So I doubt he'll be bringing it unless he has some tech that I don't know of. And then Mudbray, of course, the Mudbray. I again don't think he's gonna be bringing that. However, you never know. This man, I've been told, can run some wild things with the Mudbray. So yeah, let me also go over my team here, and I'll make this cool little draft recap on the screen that happen like I do every week. But I do have the Jirachi, the Rillaboom, the Pelipper, and the Kingdra, Drapion, Hitmonlee, Oromatisse, Sandslash, Tauros, Luxray, and the G-Max Dreadnought, of course. Now let's look back at his team here. So things I do expect to see are things like the Gengar and the Haxorus potentially, the Serena for sure, and the Jolteon, and then the last four are probably going to be either like Starmie and Slurpuff, potentially a Bisharp. I don't think would be a bad idea, even though I do have a Hitmonlee that kind of runs through his team. I'm looking right now to see if I even brought it, which I did. But yeah, I think those are the six: Gengar, Hax, Starmie, Slurpuff, Serena, Jolteon. I think those are good six. Licky could definitely make it too as well. Instead of the Starmie, I could definitely see that potentially coming in. But anyway, let's talk about my team here. So we are gonna start with Choice Scarf Jirachi. It had to happen at some point. It was, if you guys haven't seen last week's video, I definitely recommend it. Jirachi put in the works. But this time, Choice Scarf with the U-turn, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, and Play Rough. We are going to flinch that man down, and I will not feel ashamed of it. This is primarily why you drafted Jirachi in the first place. This is what it does. You know, I've already signed the contract. My soul has already been sold away. so might as well get all the hacks we can get. The speed, let me pull up my notes here so I don't forget, and someone keeps pinging me on Discord, and I would appreciate if you don't do that right now. But the speed is going to be for the Hackstress, in case he does get a Dragon Dance, for example. We can come on in and play rough. Play rough does so much damage. I don't think it OHKOs because Hackstress is super duper bulky, but it can definitely put it in hit. I do have things that can outspeed it as well, even though he is +1, and I do have other things that can take a hit too. Things like Zenha, but it's great for things like Gengar, Girder. Ironhead is going to be great for flinching down his entire team. It's also a great stab. Actually, looking at it, Ironhead doesn't really hit anything other than Slurpuff. But that's fine. That's fine. And then U-turn is going to be for momentum. We can, say that we're Scarf. We can also bait out being something else. I ran U-turn before without being a short Scarf set, so it's definitely something that we can we want to make sure that we don't reveal we're Scarf too early, but either way, Scarf Jirachi, everyone kind of expects that, right? Next thing is going to be the Pelipper. I almost didn't click on it for some reason. The speed, this one's a little bit more of a bulky Pelipper with Damp Rock, U-turn, Scald, Roost, and Hurricane. I originally had Defog on here, but I took it off for Hurricane because its Serena is very, very bulky, and I want to make sure that I can hit that super effectively. The speed is for set Serena / Slurpuff / Bisharp. He has a lot of Pokemon in that same speed tier range-ish of like 60-70. So yeah. And I did add a little bit more speed because I didn't really need it for anything else. Even if I put it in special attack, it didn't really do anything for me. And I figured, why would I put it in attack just to get more U-turn damage, even though it still won't be doing a lot. But the defense is to live a Thunder Punch from Charizard, assuming he is not Gigantamax, and also lives 2 Shadow Balls from Gengar, assuming he is, I believe, Life Orb. It's also good for things like Serena, because I'm sure I can take a hit and Hurricane it out. And the Charmy, hopefully, I think I can live a Thunderbolt, assuming he's not like super duper offensive. It is 4 times super effectively, but Pelipper is super, it's pretty bulky. I gotta say, it's pretty bulky. Definitely don't live a hit from Jolteon though, because that Pokemon is strong. Next thing we have Dreadnought here, our G-Max finally making its debut. You would think, you take a Rain Sweeper that's a G-Max, you bring him more often, but week 3 making its debut. The speed is going to be for Scarf Sarmy, in case when I'm in the rain, of course, or for Serena outside of rain. So I will be outspeeding both of those Pokemon. Boots is going to be for if he has potential webs with Slurpuff. I want to make sure I don't get my speed drop, and I do get those hits off. It really messes up with this team though. It's great for either early game breaking or just a late game sweeper, but I do have another sweeper in the back too. This is not going to be the main one, so things like liquidation, it's not going to be doing so well for things, especially like Serena's taking like 40% at most. Things like Gengar dies, of course. Things like Girder's not going to appreciate Jolteon. Licky, even though it's not going to appreciate it as well. And of course, it blows back the Gigantamax Charizard. We do have Rock Slide, even though it's going to be sending up sand and kind of screwing us up. But I did need it for things like the Charizard, things like Starmie, I guess. Actually, looking at it, not really, except for the fact that the stab was pretty good. Body press is good for Bisharp, it blows back things like the Licky as well. Plus, it gives us an attack boost, which is super duper nice. The Mega Horn was there because it lowers an opponent's special attack. So things like the Starmie, for example, if it lives or if it's stashed, and then he wants to go for, I think it gets Energy Ball, but if not Thunderbolt, we can lower special attack. Same with Gengar. In case he is stashed, whatever, I'd probably go for Mega Horn first to make sure that we lower special attack and take an Energy Ball. And then Mega Horn, and yeah, that's gonna be the whole set right there. Sweet. Next up, we do have the sweeper I was talking about with Hitmonlee, Curse, close combat knockoff, Poison Jab with 148 speed, Jolly, max special, max attack, and 108 HP. Of course, with the Unburden ability. This can be a great late game sweeper. It really, if we chip down his team properly, it comes in and it kills this whole team. The same speed is going to be as Dreadnought, so the 138, so that way we can outspeed max speed Serena, for example. If he is, I wrote down my notes. If he is Scarf Jolteon, we lose. But I'm pretty sure it takes a hit. It has 110 special defense and a good amount of HP investment. I think we do take a hit, and then Jolteon's not gonna want to live close combat. It's not gonna want to take that hit. But yeah, just gotta make sure this team is whittled down, and then we can curse up on things like the Bisharp. We can curse up on things like the Serena, potentially things like the Licky Mudbray if he brings it, and just kind of sweep after that, because we do remedy the speed drop. Next we have the Assaulvus Drapion. Now I have a lot of lists for this, but we're going to be 92 HP, 12 attack adamant, 4 defense, 244 speed F, 156 speed. Now this spread was something I really looked into closely, because I wanted to make sure that Gengar doesn't become an issue, Charizard doesn't become an issue, Jolteon doesn't become an issue. You must be wondering why 12 attack adamant. Well, if I was a Spadef nature and hit 226 on the Spadef portion here and put the rest in attack, I'm actually losing about 32 EVs. So that way it maximizes the EVs that we have, which is great. Knockoff is great for things like Gengar, Starmie. His team is actually pretty knockoff spammable. Nothing wants to take a knockoff on his team except for potentially the Bisharp, but even then, Poison Jab is great for Serena, Slurpuff. It's also a really good stab. Rock Tomb is going to be there for the Charizard, make sure that he doesn't get those speed boosts, and it's also quad super effective, it's not going to appreciate at all. Break Break is going to be for the Bisharp. I think if he's not max HP it kills, which is pretty nice. Yeah, but this thing is a blanket check to things like Gengar, Charizard, Jolteon, assuming the Charizard is especially offensive, of course. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a good Pokemon defensively to bring against his team, so yeah. And then lastly we have Gaia's Sandslash with leftovers, Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and Toxic. Didn't really need anything else attacking wise other than Earthquake. Toxic is going to be there for just this whole team basically. 244 HP, 4 attack, 196 Impish defense, 4 speed F, and 60 speed. The speed is going to be for no speed Serena or Slurpuff, in case that he is going to be a he wants to be just fully defensive on those Pokemon, especially Serena. It's going to be hard for it to run speed because I do have rain, so it wants to have as much bulk as possible. Rocks is going to be there for chipping down his team, but also for Charizard, assuming he's not going to be Boots. And if he is Boots, then he's not a boosting item, which is fine by me. It lives a +1 outrage from Haxorus, so in case he is choice banded or in case he is a Dragon Descent, we can take a hit and go for an Earthquake. It also lives a Specs Hyper Voice from Jolteon. One thing I did forget was that Jolteon gets Weather Ball, and I didn't really account for that, which is something I probably should have done, because I do have rain and it's super effectively. And then it talks things like that doesn't want to take an Earthquake, so things like Serena doesn't want to get walled down, things like Charizard, I suppose, Licky, Girder, maybe not the Girder, but things that don't want to take an Earthquake, don't want to get Toxic, specifically things like Serena. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the team. I will see you guys for the battle right now. What is going on, everybody? Lieutenant Gold here. Hope you guys are... Oh wait, I already did all that intro. God damn it. Alright guys, we are here for the battle. I am, if you guys can't tell, I am both recording for the week, so I am getting a little bit tired here. Anyways, we're gonna be here with the battle versus FlameHorizon here. Unfortunately, we did have to play on Showdown. He had a little bit of disconnecting issues on his end, where he wasn't able to connect. I had some issues on mine. I think I was able to figure out, but yeah, so back-to-back Showdown this week, where both Seabad and then this week against FlameHorizon, we had to go on Showdown, which is unfortunate. You hate to see it, really, you really do. But next week we'll be on Wi-Fi for sure, 100%. Anyways, let's break down the team that he brought. So he brought the Jolteon, which was expected. He brought the Gengar. He brought the Serena, which I did expect that as well. Slurpuff, the Bisharp, and the Girder. So we don't see any of I'll have his team very soon in front of my eyes. I promise. We don't see the Haxorus, which is pretty interesting. I felt like Haxorus had pretty good matchup here. We don't see the Starmie, which you love to see it, honestly. You don't see the Charizard, which is great, and you don't see the Licky, which is amazing. These are some of the things I was kind of scared of. The Charizard just because it's a Charizard, although it didn't have a really good matchup. And the Haxorus, I guess he could have been scared of the what's that one Pokemon? Water Dragon type, which I will remember at some point. But anyways, so yeah, Showdown. Let's get this started. I am gonna lead with the Pelipper to kind of set up the rain. It looks great against his entire team, except if he leads with the Jolteon. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna go on slow because otherwise it goes too fast for me and I feel like I'm gonna ramble. He does lead the Jolteon though, which is pretty unfortunate, so we do have to go into our Sand Slash where he predicts us turn 1. This guy is a this guy is a madman. Who clicks Weather Ball turn 1? That's crazy. But it's a great prediction on his end. It kind of tells me how he's going to be playing and kind of be predicting. So I think that I'm going to try to force him into over predict and kind of stay in on things that wouldn't really make sense, where I'd be forcing switch-ins and stuff like that and get him off guard that way. But yeah, turn 1 going to knock out our what's it called? Our Sand Slash, which is pretty unfortunate. We are forced into our Dreadnought here, as he's going to go into Serena. We are going to Dynamax, of course, go into the Max Stone Surge, get our rocks up as well, which is great. And here he should be in range of the Max Flowbite, but he is not, because he lives on 6%, and goes for Tromp Kick. But Dreadnought is a very, very bulky Pokemon, especially when Dynamax, so we are going to live that. But he does lower our attack, so we are going to get that back up with the Max Knuckle, but he effectively made sure that we kind of waste our Dynamax here, which is pretty unfortunate. We're going to go back to Baby Dreadnought here, as he's going to go into the Girder, fearing a what's it called, a Mach Punch. I am gonna go into the Pelipper here, as he's gonna go for knock off my Damp Rock. He's gonna double into the Slurpuff, as I am going to U-turn here, predicting the Jolteon, which he does not go into, and then Drapion here is gonna come in for free. And I do think he's going to go into the Bisharp here. That seems like it's the safe play, which he does on the Poison Jab. Good play on his end, of course. The obvious switch was pretty obvious. And then here, expecting that he can't really do anything to me, but he does live the Break with 12 again, as he goes for an Iron Head and do exactly half. The rain stops here on this turn, as he's going to go for a Sucker Punch, which doesn't do too much because this is a very bulky Drapion. I am going to Break. I did want to knock off here, but I don't think that was the best play, and I don't think it would have killed, which was pretty unfortunate. Here, I am going to predict him to not really do anything to me because I am super duper bulky. Take the Sludge really easily and knock him out with a knockoff, which is great because Gengar was such a pain in my butt. He's gonna go into Jolteon here, and I think I felt like Drapion kind of did everything it needed to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and sack that off on the Thunderbolt. Jirachi is gonna be Scarf. I can go for either an Iron Head or a Zen Headbutt. I think if I don't go for a Zen Headbutt, oh come on Dorian, why don't you go for a Zen Headbutt? What? That was a bad play on my end. Definitely should have Zen Headbutt here. He's gonna knock off once again into the Pelipper, not doing too much here. And I think if I am smart, I go for a U-turn. No, Hurricane. Okay, cool. So past Dorian did not play really well at all. But we're gonna go for a Scald here. Do not get the burn, unfortunately, but we did get the Confusion, and his Confusion, which he said was pretty game changing. I don't really think it was, in my opinion, but he's gonna step at this turn and go for a Protect, which is cool. I don't know his set, obviously, so I can't really speak too much. Obviously it's pretty annoying, but I don't think how it would be game changing to a point where I think I still would have won, in my opinion. It does change how the game went, but I don't think it changed the outcome too much. He's gonna go into the Jolteon here, and I sacked the Dreadnought. Don't know if that was a play, but it was in range of the Mach Punch from Girder, so I didn't feel like I really needed it all that much. I'm gonna go into the Jirachi here where I can just go ahead and Zen Headbutt, but he does live, which is so annoying. He's gonna knock me off here, knock off my Choice Scarf, and go for it. Mach Punch like I assumed he had, but we're just gonna go ahead and Zen Headbutt, knock out the Girder, and then we are obviously in range. I'm assuming this is Specs Jolteon here. I'm running some calcs if I can still win this or not. He's gonna go for Thunderbolt, knock me out, and then even though he can be Specs Modest Jolteon, I always live a Thunderbolt, and he gets to crit, and my heart dropped because I really thought he I thought he knocked me out because of the crit, which this game was something else, man. This game was something else. But we do win 2-0. But yeah, man, what a game. It was very interesting. He did play pretty aggro, make really hard predictions. Really early on, and turn 1 Weather Ball was amazing. That was great. But yeah, that's gonna be the game. I do apologize that it's on Showdown once again. We will get back into the Wi-Fi type of things soon afterwards. But yeah, that's gonna be for this week of the IBL. We are gonna be battling Brendan next week, the commissioner himself, and his team is a little bull. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.